the calm center of their lives, noting that his absence leaves a void that will not be easily filled.
Ya kwamba damu hiyo ya Albert ambayo imemwagika bila hatia, walio na uwezo kuona kwamba wanachukua damu ya maisha ya wenzi wao na kumwaga damu ili wabakie katika hali yao na kuficha uovu wao, basi wajue kwamba watabaki na heshima, watabaki na utajiri na sifa za aina yote, lakini hawatakuwa na amani katika maisha yao. Sababu Kain, Mungu alitamka ya kwamba damu ya Abel inamlilia.
Sasa nimeshangaa vile polisi walimchukua, wangemuuliza hata uko na watoto wangapi kwanza.
Korosani adwatingo maiti adokodo dala.
Saa hii sasa ninabeba mwili wa mtoto wangu kurudi naye nyumbani. Nimesema pole.
Yatino dhiki kue.
Na nimemrelease aende na amani.
Albert kikinindi kama intiano.
Mano
kene kimakwai.
Usilale.
Albert yatina kikinindi.
Has been my everything. When we last talked, when he was in Central Police Station, I think I'm the last person he talked to. And his last words were, I love you, see you soon. So seeing him soon here or even in the mortuary it really broke me. So Albert left at a time where I didn't expect that he would leave.
We hope with Professor Ogola and others that we should be able to come up with something that gives us a way forward. This culture of forgive and forget and move on, we must say as a country, never again.
Na hata tumeona juzi ile bill ambayo imeletwa pale ati ya kuongelea mambo ya kuregulate mambo ya maandamano. That's something we want to assure the Kenyans that we as the members of parliament, we are not going to accept it to see the day. Na hiyo tumekataa kabisa. Hata huyo mwenye analeta huyo mama Esther tutamwambia hiyo vitu, you will have nowhere to see to discuss them. So okay.
You know, life is such a strange thing. It's just shocking how the life of Ojwang was snuffed out like that. Now we are talking about a memorial service and then he'll be buried. The country has already moved on. And it should be a great lesson to us who are living that no matter what happens, a time will come and you'll go out of this world. And you know, the thing that matters most and the thing that gives me the heebie-jeebies is how do you leave this world? In what state of heart? Because I think that's very, very important. People will miss you and all that, but you and God, just make sure you and God are okay, right? Now, family from Kagumo, Kirinyaga County is mourning the tragic death of Brian Minor, a 28-year-old man who was fatally injured during the June 25th nationwide anti-government protests held in Nairobi. According to his grandfather, Joseph Waweru Kenywa, Brian was allegedly struck by a police officer during the demonstration and later succumbed to his injuries while undergoing treatment. Friends who were with him at the protest rushed him to the hospital at around 3 p.m., but he was pronounced dead at 8 p.m. the same evening. Brian, who had completed his primary education, lived with his grandfather in Umoja 1, Nairobi, where he was helping manage family property. His grieving mother, Penina Wairimo, received the heartbreaking news while she was participating in a separate protest in Kutus, Kirinyaga County.
Kufika saa 8 pale midi ilizimwa. Hapo ndio watoto wetu waliumia. Ndio hapo ninasikia ndio mtoto wangu pia aliumianga hiyo masaa wakati midi ilizimwa. Saa hiyo ndio aliumia. Juu alipigwa na tear gas, wakanguka chini akagongo. Hata ni bahati wajenzi wanapendana waachanagi. Mmoja ni alirudi akamuona kambeba hivi. Wakatafuta gari hawakupata gari. Wakachukua pikipiki. Mmoja akamshikia dereva na mwingine akamshikilia hivi. Ndio akampeleka hosi. Kufika saa 3 ndio tukaambia brani yangu ameaga.
Sasa asiposikiliza watoto watapigana paka lini? Silikumaliza tamaliza watoto wote Kenya. Atatawala nani? Atatawala nani? Na hawa ndio wazazi wa kesho. Sisi tumemaliza kazi yetu, tumezeeka. Hawa watoto wanalilia haki yao, wapewe haki yao. Na haki yao wanataka kazi. Pesa ile natolewa ushuru, waitumie na njia mzuri, wawache kuharibu. Hiyo ndio kitu ya watoto wanataka. Si wakae chini waongee na watoto.
Now, 3 prominent leaders from Makueni County have been summoned by the Directorate of Criminal Investigation following their alleged involvement in the deadly protest that rocked several towns in the county last week. Kilili Kaya, MCA, Abana Swambua, along with the County Executive Committee member for Sports, Sebastian Choni, and another individual identified as Mutuko, have been directed to present themselves for further questioning in relation to the June 25th protest that left 2 youth dead in Emali. The trio appeared at the DCI offices in Wote, where they were briefed on the allegations against them. They have been instructed to report for more detailed interrogation at the DCI headquarters in Kiambu Road in Nairobi on separate dates. Now, according to the detectives or directives, Abana Swambua is expected to report on Thursday, while Mutuku and Kioni are scheduled to present themselves next week in Nairobi.
2 of our members and an ECM have received summons from the DCI that they should appear here today, and they have come and they have been told to go to Nairobi, and we are ready. What we want to inform our people is that these are shenanigans which are planned by the KK government to distract us, the people of Makueni. And we want to tell them, we as the representatives of the people in Makueni, we are the representatives of the people's opposition. And the people of Kenya are ready to take KK government home. They want to destabilize Makueni, which is the backbone of Wiper Democratic Movement. We want to tell them they won't succeed.
Not threaten at all, because I'm hardened enough, and I believe that our people are behind us. And also in this exercise, sisi lazima tupambane kabisa. Kwa hivyo hii inistui na iwezi nistua. Hii ndio mara ya pili, mara ya 3. Kwa hivyo hata ikifanyika mara ya 20 niko tayari. Kwa hiyo I said in these local medias that I'm ready to pay. I'm ready to pay it 100% if this country will be rescued. Kwa kuwa kupoteza mauai ya viongozi kama hawa, kama watoto wetu wameumia zaidi na wanalia, sisi hatuna shida.
Kile cha maana ni Kenya iongozwe kwa sheria, sio kwa feelings ama emotions za watu. Hii imekuwa ni kama emotions, yes. And we need to abuse it and we want to refuse it and condemn it to the highest level of humanity. Yes. Kwa hivyo tukatae kutumiwa na askari kutumiwa, wache tukae kama wana Kenya na amani.
Now, family in Kipasi Mbita, Homa Bay County is calling for a thorough investigation into the mysterious death of their 29-year-old relative, Calvin Onditi, who died while in police custody on the 15th of June. According to an autopsy conducted by Dr. Kevin Osuri, Homa Bay's Chief Officer for Medical Services, Onditi died due to asphyxiation caused by neck compression, a finding that contradicts the police version of events. The police had initially claimed that the deceased committed suicide by hanging himself in his cells. However, the family has rejected this explanation, citing inconsistencies. Onditi's mother, Millicent Akoth, stated that her son was arrested from home wearing only a pair of shorts, not trousers, raising questions about the feasibility of the alleged suicide. Family lawyer Albert Ongoso further disputed the suicide narrative, saying Onditi was intoxicated at the time of the arrest and was in no physical state to climb the cell's wall or ceiling.
The issue that we have at hand is this Calvin Omondi, at the time that he was brought or taken to Kipasi police post, he was totally drunk. This is somebody you can describe as drunk as a skunk. There is no way that somebody who is drunk as a skunk could actually have the audacity or have the time to even tie a rope or any type of clothing across his neck and hang himself. And that is why the family is still asking questions. Who actually caused the death of Calvin Omondi? And that is why we want to find out the truth of this matter. We are not going to leave everything just like that because the report has come out that way. As the family, we still demand answers. We demand answers from the in charge of Kipasi Police Post. We demand answers from the OCS, Beta, who actually was seen with his boys, or either of his boys were around the area of Kipasi. We want answers. And we also want to know why they had to get that body, minus the family members being there. That is what we are demanding. And we will not relent until we get answers.
We have just conducted an autopsy or a post-mortem in respect of the late Calvin Omondi, who passed on the 15th of June 2025 at Kipasi Police Station. He had been brought the previous evening, having been arrested by the Assistant Chief and members of the public on allegations of indecent sexual issues. You know, he was found in a goat's pen. Those are the circumstances that were reported to us from the police. So the following day in the morning, he was found hanging in the police cells. And then he was then brought to Homa Bay Teaching and Referral Hospital as a body, as the late. So his death was confirmed on arrival. And today we have conducted a post-mortem in the presence of the family. So we have established that the cause of death for the late Calvins was due to what is called asphyxiation. Asphyxiation, which means he could not breathe. That is why he passed on. And the cause of that asphyxiation was because of hanging or strangulation around the neck, and has been confirmed by everyone here that what strangulated his neck was a piece of cloth, that is a grey trouser, which he was hanging from.
You know, there's been a lot of bad news when it comes to the police. I mean, the shooting, the killing, the dying in the cells. I mean, it's just something needs to be done to get this police service to act like a service instead of a force. Because some of these things, it's just ridiculous. Anyway, the High Court has extended conservatory orders suspending the directives by the Communication Authority of Kenya that sought to bar television and radio stations from broadcasting live coverage of the 25th anti-government demonstrations. The matter came up for mention before Justice Chacha Mwita, who directed that it be mentioned again on the 27th of October for further directions. The initial orders were obtained last week by the Law Society of Kenya, which moved to court challenging the CA's directive. The LSK argued that the move by the authority was unconstitutional and an infringement of freedom of expression and the right to access information as protected under the Kenyan Constitution. The directive issued by the Communication Authority had instructed all broadcasters to immediately cease live coverage of nationwide protests, citing national security concerns. In the proceedings, the court noted that multiple petitions had been filed on the same matter, raising similar constitutional concerns. As a result, Justice Mwita ordered the consolidation of the cases to allow for a unified hearing. Among the petitioners is a Kenya Union of Journalists, which has filed 2 separate cases also challenging the CA's directive, echoing similar arguments regarding media freedom and constitutional rights. As it stands, television and radio stations across the country are now allowed to continue airing live broadcasts pending the final determination of the case. Legal experts and civil society groups have lauded the court's interim orders as a critical safeguards for press freedom during politically sensitive periods. Just before we take a look at what is happening in the newspapers, health services are Kwale County have been thrown into disarray after more than 80 doctors downed their tools, citing long-standing grievances over delayed promotions and salary payments. The strike, organized by the Kenya Medical Practitioners, Pharmacists and Dentists Union, or KMPDU, Coast Branch, is set to continue indefinitely until the county government addresses the doctors' demands. According to union officials, some medical professionals have gone over a decade without a single promotion, despite years of dedicated service. The doctors also decried frequent salary delays, which they say have left many of them struggling to meet basic needs, including accessing critical medical cover for themselves and their families. Patients across the country have been left stranded, with many public hospitals and clinics offering only limited services. The strike is expected to significantly impact access to healthcare, particularly in rural and underserved areas.
Many years, our doctors have been working hard, giving off all our services, but the government has not remunerated us, the county government has not remunerated us accordingly. And because of this, we have been having delayed promotions, sometimes even more than 10 years from the time you're supposed to be promoted.
Kwale County has decided that it will not value its doctors. It does not value the patients, the lives of the patients that these doctors serve, and has decided that today they've decided that we as doctors of Kwale County are actually the enemy of the government of Kwale County.
But imagine you're scared for your life just because you are asking for your salary. Is that right?
No.
Is that right, members?
No.
We cannot live like this. And people expect you to come back to work. Huna pesa, huna insurance. Mama Chani, you're the only one who can solve this issue.
All right, as promised, let's take a look at what's happening in the dailies. Let me see, where do we start? The Star. Okay. As you said, let's start with the Star. The Star, fresh, independent, different, has a headline that screams out, Senate poised to end CDF for good. Hey, the Senate... The Senate is planning to kill CDF for good. I will wait and see that. New stand to renew political rivalry between the two houses. Tears call for justice, Marco Juang Memorial. Lobbies are warning of shrinking civil spaces in Kenya. Why DPP wants baby Pendo case transferred to Kisumu? Okay. Then the Star also has a story why governors are on the spotlight as state lifts lead on how 450 billion will be shared. Addressing wasteful spending, senators now cap non-priority spending by counties. You remember, I don't know what's happening. It's interesting. Actually, I know what's happening. Let me not say I don't know what's happening. Governors are spending ridiculous, spending this money on ridiculous expenses. You remember Isiolo governor had spent money on 36 advisors. 36. You know how many 36? Now let me give you an example. I believe When we were growing up in class, we were 40. 40, an entire class of 40 students. Now just take away 6 of them. If you take away 6 students from an entire class, you have 36. You have, take away 4, sorry. Take away 4 and you have 36. Now, all those being paid to advise one man. Most of them are his buddies. Most of them are his buddies. Homies he met, probably one of them, he had gone to a kiosk, guy akamwekea chai mingi, kamuita advisor wa chai. You know, you have so many advisors, and the governor was asked, when was he was having problems even knowing what the advisors are for. So he will have his dates in the Senate, and I know, and I suspect that the senators are going to send him home. And quite a number of senators, governors are doing this kind of things. And now you have a situation where senators have vowed to oppose bills seeking to save CDF. Matiang'i dares Ruto as he confirms top job bids. Pipeline put on sale again after government U-turn. Ay, bane. Bloodbath at Gore. Hunt for a new coach begins at Kogalo as Zico and his bench are shown the door. Then Alice is going to show us this headline in the Standard, which screams out abductors playground. Abductors playground. And it has the pictures of the people who they say are responsible for abducting and the abducted. You have the picture of Mohammed Amin, the DCI boss, who is said and believed to be the main guy who is behind the abductions. And then you have now people who've been abducted or arrested. You have Wanjiko Thiga, a DCP, National Youth Leader, violently arrested. DCP is Gachagwa's party. The National Youth Leader was arrested. Then you have Mark Amiani, has been held for more than 24 hours without anybody knowing where he's at. And then you have Ndiangui Kinyagia, abducted by DCI officers and is still missing. Then you have Francis Motunge, who's been held now for more than 24 hours. Then John Mulingwa has been held now for more than 24 hours. Whoever thought that this ugly face of Kenyan history, and mostly so what was experienced during Moi's period, was going to show its ugly face again. Anger Espasari seeks to keep protesters away from parliament. And now there's a bill that proposes a 60-year age limit for police bosses. And then a hospital has been ordered to pay an employee sacked over food. This was after a patient's food was found at his workstation. Court directs hospital to pay him 667,122 for unfair termination. Then there's let me just tell you. Hey, there's a picture here of Ugalia Brown. I think is in Managu. Kanyamanyama hivi. Mpaka nimesikia njaa haki. Yani this meal, shivane. You know how we used to cut newspapers when we were young, and you take a picture and you put it somewhere? I think I will cut this. It looks so yummy. Violent arrest, abductions on the rise as court summons Amin. DPP wants baby Pendo murder, trial moved. Understanding the birth of Sabasaba as Monday nears. Now, the court suspended, or rather extended, the directive stopping the Communication Authority from stopping media houses from airing any demonstrations. Monday is Sabasaba, meaning, and you know, the young people have vowed that they're going to demonstrate again on Sabasaba. There's a bill that is being pushed by Esther Pasari, the Nairobi women rep, that is supposed to stop demonstrators from getting near State House and the Parliament. It's still a bill, has not been passed. So, sema kimeumana. Then you have tears flow for slain teacher as King eulogize Ojwang at solemn mass. Court to decide Lagat, a case over Ojwang's death. Opposition raises concern amid fears of plans to scuttle 2027 polls. And then XMCA files petition to remove Sakaja excuse me, over gross misconduct. Then the back page of the Standard, all set for quarters as Real and Dortmund book final sports. And then we go to the Nation, united in greed. That's what the Nation newspaper says, united in greed. That's a headline right there. Then it says the National Assembly has in many instances struggled to raise a quorum when it's considering people-centered bills. But on Tuesday, the House attracted one of the largest turnouts in history, with rival camps closing ranks in pursuit of common interests. Money, common interest, money. In their never-ending desire to line their pockets, over 300 members voted to change the constitution to put under their control 3 funds declared illegal by the courts. You know, as Alice puts that headline on the screen, if we are given the ability, you know, me, Alan, and a number of people can come together and decide that all the monies that are being collected by KRA should come to us, because members of parliament are behaving like that. And then you have a situation where a hawker says, we were invited to say our buys. Short hawker's mother says, as Ojwang's memorial is held in the city. Karaoke mother remembers being invited to say bye. This should be an interesting read. Noodling with the danger. What's really in your child's 3-minute noodle meal? Senators now threaten to shoot down draft law. Then Murkomen unfit to hold office. Petitioners are now arguing. Then Pasari's bill echoes Demos rules proposed by Kindiki. And ODM has disowned Pasari's over draconian proposed law. And then how demonstrations prohibition is being smuggled into law. This has been written, it's an article written by Gitobu Imanyara. Private hospitals threaten to sue over unfair downgrades. This health thing, has suffered, eh? No deal for teacher as TSC ask union for more time. Birth certificate issuance falls as booklet shortage bites. Why Gor fired Coach Zico Otieno. Okay. This has been a musical chairs. You know what I'm saying? I mean, they win, the guy is great. They lose, the guy is horrible. But that's what do we say? That's exactly how, you know, sports goes. You play to win. If you lose, then something was wrong with the coach, not the players who failed to score. Isn't that interesting? Anyway, I always say this, and I think this, I say it because it's something that is so deep in my heart. I believe Jesus is coming soon, pretty soon. I truly do. I believe that Jesus is coming very, very soon, sooner than we know it. I even believe that in heaven, the angel who's supposed to blow the trumpet, ashaiweka kwa mdomo. In the sense that the curtains are about to be drawn on this world. And we have to do everything we need to do to ensure that we are ready for Christ's coming. And we have to make sure also that we get our families ready for him. Our families, our friends, the people you know who've never given their lives to Christ. You gotta pray for them. You gotta pray for them. We got to live right. I know right now people are looking for things to make their lives better, and it's okay. I mean, Christ, you know, people say that Jesus was poor, but that's a lie. Jesus was not poor. I mean, the clothes that he wore when he was crucified, the soldiers literally cast lots to determine who was going to go with them. Nobody would cast lots for cheap clothes. Nobody. They were very expensive clothes. That's the reason why they had to cast lots for his clothes. So it's okay to want to live comfortable, and it's your right, it's our right to live comfortable. It was paid for by Jesus Christ that we can live comfortable, but at the same time know that trials will come, circumstances will come, things will come. Things will come. But prepare your heart. Give yourself to the word, holy. And they gave themselves to prayer, the apostles' teaching, and breaking of bread. So we have to prepare ourselves for the Lord. And one of the ways that as EBN we are doing that is giving you programming that build your faith up. And that's the reason why at around 9 a.m. you're going to have a program called Your Faith Today with Reverend Felix Gavoy that's going to build your faith and encourage you in this walk. Because the scriptures actually say when Jesus comes, will he find faith? So we want to make sure that when he comes, he finds faith in you. So don't go away. And then Manukato from 2 p.m. With Teddy. So keep it here. Maneno iko mingi.